So for this section, I'm going to actually show you how to modify the font, the size, the color, how to use cut, copy, and paste, and Format Painter. If you're not aware of what Format Painter is, it is a lifesaver. Trust me, you'll want to stay tuned for this. So first thing, before we can use all of those cool tools, let's go ahead and change the style of the font, the size of the font, and the color of the font. I'm going to start with just changing one cell at this moment. So to change that information, I'm going to click in cell A1 to change our Workforce Alliance and the way it appears. I like the font style Georgia. So we'll go to the font group, we'll click the drop down arrow, and we will go to the font style Georgia. Okay, so it's moved it to Georgia style. We will change this to font size 24, so we'll use the drop down arrow. And then I really like the dark blue color, so I will go to the A with the little color bar underneath it, use the drop down arrow, and we'll find the dark blue color. Now what we found ourselves in a little predicament here, all the work we did to widen our columns has now been undone. If we go back between A and B, get our double-headed arrow and double click, now we'll be in the right width of our columns again. So we've got this here, Workforce Alliance in blue, Georgia, and size 24. Now generally you're going to want things to be consistent. So one way to do something for all of the words on the page, if you're wanting it to be that way. So what we could do is you could highlight, so select the field you want to be in, and then click and drag, and whatever area is covered in this green outline, if we went to that we want it to be this other font, size, let's say 26, and blue. Now everything is that particular font, color, and size, because we highlighted that particular area. Okay. Now, if we wanted to keep that up here, but maybe change the way this information looks down below, what we would end up doing, and I'm going to widen this column again because we're not quite right, and I'm going to widen this one again, and I'm going to widen that one again. So that's as quickly we were able to widen those columns just by double clicking. And I'm going to leave the way that it looks at the top here. I don't like the way this looks. Okay, so I'm going to go into A4, and I want to make this B, let's say Georgia. Okay, and I want to make this font a little bit smaller. It doesn't need to be so big. I'll make it 16. So if you were on this page and you started adding in additional fields and you weren't really sure what made customer name look this way, this is where Format Painter can come in handy. Is without even having to know that it's Georgia size 16 in the color, I can just click Format Painter and it gives this little dotted line around it showing you that it's taking that into consideration, and then it shows you a little paintbrush with a plus sign now, which shows us the Format Painter is on. When the Format Painter is on, all you have to do is click in the cell you want to change, and it will change the formatting. So the word's going to stay the same, but the formatting will change. We will now get the correct size, font, color, etc. by just clicking in this box. Now that looks the same. Now if I went to go over here to click, you'll notice my paintbrush is not there no more. So I have to still come back here, click Format Painter, and click in that box. Now it's been changed. Format Painter does also work if, I'm going to change this again just to give us some difference so you can notice the change. You can click here, go Format Painter, and you can click and drag, and now it has done the same thing. So if you highlight it, the Format Painter will go for each of those selections. And essentially the Format Painter, even if this was a different color, if this was green, it's going to allow whatever the formatting is to be the same. And it can just come in so handy. It's been so helpful for me. I know that. So we've shown you how to change the style of the font, the size, and the color. We've also shown you the Format Painter to keep whatever that formatting is. Now I want to show you cut, copy, paste. So if we wanted to copy and so if we wanted to copy, you would highlight and you could go to the clipboard where it says copy, and then you would go down to the next line where you want it to be as well. Now that it's selected, you would just click the top of where it says paste. So now we have a duplicate. If you want to cut something, usually you're cutting it because you're wanting to move it somewhere else. Let me add a few more things in here. Okay. So if I decide that I want to cut John out of here, then I would click John, click cut. And then I'd have to decide where I wanted it to go. Okay. So maybe I really needed him to be in space 14. So now I can hit paste. So now we've moved John clear down here. So the difference between copy and cut is copy is going to give you a duplicate, cut is just going to move it wherever you'd like it, or completely take it off if you're not wanting to repaste it back. There are shortcuts for cut, copy, and paste. I'll type them here. So the shortcut for copy is Control plus C. The shortcut for paste is Control plus V. And the shortcut for cut is Control plus X. So if I do Control C on my keyboard here, you see that it now has what I call these marching ants, or this dotted line. And I could paste it over here in the customer number by doing Control and V. Or if I decided I wanted to cut the Control X out of here, I could do Control X. And it should have cut. Oh, it should, yes, because I got to paste it now, right? So if I want to paste it here on the customer number, now do Control V, and now it has cut it. Those are the shortcuts, but there's one more shortcut. You can click in the field, right click on your mouse, and you will also get cut, copy, and paste options. So there's 3 ways to do that. That sums up cut, copy, paste, the Format Painter, and modifying the font.